So the other day I decided to spontaneously start my daily drawing challenge using Ohuhu markers. I got this big set, but I really didn't know what to do. So by looking at some tutorial of Chris Hong art and also looking at the Patreon of Lorna Kelleher, I decided, I don't have enough skill or understanding of how to draw with these markers myself, so I'm just gonna repeat what these artists do and try to see what I can achieve in the next 30 days. My first attempt, here you can see on the video, I drew the line art with pencil, and when I drew with marker all over it, it looked quite horrible. Everything got blended, but I decided just to trust the process and give myself some slack. I'm thinking just by the end of this 30-day challenge, I will understand how to use the markers and what are the best products and materials to use with them. For example, on my first day, I was using a very, very fine line art, which was barely leaving any lines. So I was quite frustrated, but after adding a bit of color, and the final result was more or less fine, and I was quite happy with what I achieved, and I decided to continue doing my challenge. The big part of drawing with the markers is actually creating the sketch which lays underneath, and I've realized that I will have to spend quite some time just learning basic human anatomy to be able to draw good sketches, but I kind of like a bit of loose sketches, and it's not always important that your art is anatomically correct as long as you're having fun. So I was seeing what the artist was doing in the video, trying to repeat, trying to understand what's important in creating marker art. It was also interesting to understand how you can combine markers and marker colors. It's not always markers of the same shade that you can combine. You're not only 3 colors of blue, for example, but sometimes you can combine completely crazy colors such as yellow and orange, which was quite interesting to see. In this particular one, it was a combination of purple and rose, which I think is quite a logical combination, but I would have not done it myself. So it was quite fun to repeat and learn from the others. I know in the art community there is a lot of discussion about whether you can repeat or trace other people's art. Well, here I don't think I'm really tracing any art, but it's quite nice to see someone else and learn from someone rather than just experiencing everything yourself. I think for this particular art I already took a bit fatter micron pen. On my first one I was using micron pen 5, and it was very hard to draw very nice outlines. With micron pen 8 the lines were turning out way nicer and way more defined, and they were giving very nice final touch to the sketch. I actually think line art really makes the art come together. Here I'm showing that the sketchbook for Ohuhu markers is quite big and fat, so actually it was quite annoying to draw on the edge because my hand was hanging a lot, so I had to take a book and lay close to the sketchbook so that my hand could lay a little bit nicer. That's I think a bit of a downfall of the sketchbook. It's just, I think the paper is a big fat and it's quite many pages, so drawing on the edge doesn't make a very convenient hand position, but I managed. I don't think in the end I relied on this book that much. I just let my hand lay. Once again I was struggling a little bit with drawing a sketch, and when you draw digitally you can always easily shift the shapes, and when you realize that the mouth is too low you just put it higher or lower. With paper it's different. You have to really rely on your understanding of proportions, of space, of size. was quite interesting experience. That's why I really enjoy drawing on paper. I think everything seems more real and sometimes imperfect, which makes it quite fascinating. I really like this artist showing the demo was really combining green and orange. I don't think I would have gone for this type of highlight myself. I would have used deeper green with lighter green, so it was quite interesting to see how you can achieve different results with sometimes crazy color combinations, I would say. Also, when doing this sketch, I realized I really have to learn more about rim light, reflective light, all these type of words, because the artist kept using these words and I was not quite sure what's going on. And my most favorite part, I think, is highlighting details with the fine liner. I think fine liner really makes the sketch come together. Immediately makes it pop. And you know, my art does not look like the original one at all. But I did my best, and I think I learned quite a lot in the process. It's a bit hard to draw and record, so I don't think I will be able to record every art in my 30-day journey, but I'll do my best. I'm now on day 4 and I sometimes wonder what will I even achieve in day 30, but I think I'll just keep going and I'll see what I can do. I hope my journey can inspire someone else to get a set and just start drawing with your markers. It can be quite intimidating exploring a new art medium, especially non-digital art medium, I would say, but it's quite fun. Oh yeah, and I think here I would mention, for my last 3 sketches I was no longer using a simple gray pencil, I was using colored pencil for my sketch, and I think that really helps. I feel like colored pencils have a bit different structure than a normal gray pencil, so when I do a sketch with a colored pencil and later use my yeah, I'm not sure what was happening here with the camera. I wanted to say that I think when you use a colored pencil and later draw over with markers over it, it's not creating this weird smudge effect that I had on my very first sketch. So I think I should get a bit more colored pencils, because I think only 2 or 3 of them, which might be not enough for my future adventures. Here the artist was using also a bit different technique. She encouraged to use a couple of different shades of gray on the shading area. So I think following other artists' demos or tutorials was quite insightful. And that was my first attempt. I think it's not very good, not that bad, and I'm looking forward to exploring more.